Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Berlin Christmas Markets Part 2. And yes, we wrestled with the underground and we got here to Alexanderplatz.
Okay.
I'm confused now because there's trains going over trains.
Yeah.
There's trains coming under and trains going over. Look at that, train going over, train coming under. Are you confused yet, Andy?
I'm always confused.
Not only is there a choice of 6 platforms, there's a choice of 2 or 3 levels. Look at that, trains going over, trains coming under. Doesn't take much to confuse me and Andy.
No, it doesn't. So we're supposed to be there.
Well, you have a choice of 6 platforms and 2 levels. So that narrows it down for people like you and me.
Oh, it doesn't narrow it down.
Trains going over, trains coming under.
Oh, we're always going to train.
Well, it's not like British Rail, is it?
We're on the road to nowhere. One more.
You know what that is, Andy, don't you, that's gonging away there?
What's that?
It's called the Rathaus.
Rathaus? What lives there then?
It's called the Rathaus, it means town hall.
That sounds about right, that.
Das Rathaus.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So the Rathaus has just gonged, and now the rest of them have stopped. It's like they was all in competition with each other then in league. The church started, and then some other church started behind that big wheel.
So?
And then Das Rathaus.
So
over there started gonging away.
If the Das Rathaus is the town hall,
yes.
Does that mean all the people who run the town hall and the councillors are all rats?
They could be wearing little waistcoats and little embroidered jackets and little tuxedos and trousers and little pocket watches and...
That'd be great, that. They'd probably do a damn sight better job.
Well, they couldn't do any worse. Let's put it that way. I don't know about this country, but definitely in Westminster, they couldn't do a damn sight worse.
Das Rathaus.
Das Rathaus.
Das Rathaus. Right, the Christmas markets, and I'm thinking of going to the Razia Apparata House.
The Razia Apparata House? What for?
I just want to shave.
For shaving stuff?
Razia.
You need Razia Apparata House.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need something.
Yeah.
I know that. You do need something, Andy.
I do need something.
This is the man that goes missing at the Radisson Hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning I wake up and he is gone, and he doesn't come back till like 3 a.m. This is the man that goes missing from the airport Radisson Hotel.
I don't like Bigfoot.
can I trust you to go and get this shaving stuff, these razors, this razzia apparatus, as you call it, on your own without any help?
Yeah, because you're coming with
He's
me,
doing
'cause
this
you
too
can
much.
see it and I can't.
You went missing today. We ordered 2 cappuccinos and 2 chocolate hearts. I turned around and you were gone. Gone. This is happening too much now.
No, he's going for me ablutions. And I'm leaving it at that.
All right, so we'll sort you out with the shaving stuff, the razzia apparatus.
The currywurst was moving through, I would say. And I needed to go.
All right, I get you. Alright, so I'm going to let Andy do most of this Christmas market tour tonight because I don't want to be on camera too much. My pom-pom's flopping. It's, yeah, look, it's raining and my pom-pom's flop. So, since my pom-pom's flopped, and you don't have a pom-pom, so I'll let you do the tour of
How
the...
do you know it?
Well, I can't see one, but who knows what you get up to when you go missing from the hotel at the middle of the night. So since my pom-pom's flopping, I'm going to hand over to Andy and let him do the tour of the Christmas markets. Well, I can't go on with a flat pom-pom. I mean, come on now. That just wouldn't be cool, but it wouldn't be Christmas, would it?
No.
So from now on, you could elbow your way through the markets and we'll get some shots of everything that's going on.
Somebody knocking me out.
There's actually 6 Christmas markets. We've been to 2. This is going to be the 3rd one. The first one was in the first programme. We've just been to Alexander Flats and now we're at the winter market. So we're working our way around.
Oh yeah.
All I'm going to say, Andy, is it makes a change from Devil's Horns. And since you had a bad experience last week, I'm putting you in Angel's Wings. Saving your soul, man.
Christmas devil.
I know you prefer the Devil's Horns, but it's Christmas, so make an effort. Just put on the Angel's Wings for once.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'm always an angel.
Oh, we know that. We've come down to film from this angle because down there they was playing Annie Lennox and she sued Utah Saints for using a record, so she's going to sue our asses if we use it for the Christmas markets. So Bing Crosby's no longer here, so he can't really sue us. With more luck and chance really filming down here to Bing Crosby than filming up or Dean Martin than filming up there to Annie Lennox. Think about it, Andy. We filmed down there to Annie Lennox. She's going to bust our asses like she did the Utah Saints. Oh. But if we film down here to Dean Martin and Bing Crosby, they're dead anyway, so there's nothing we can do about it now.
Well, unless they come back from
so this is the problem when you're filming outdoors, guys. If somebody's music happens to slip into your video, you can get busted. You have to pay copyright and all that malarkey. I was going to say some other word then that's not really Christmassy right now. We'll stick with the with this record because I'm pretty sure we're not going to get sued. Although you never know. I'm not being funny, Andy, but that fella has got St. Vitus dance or something. He's been up and down, up and down. He's took his shoes off I don't know how many times. Do you think he's only knitting with one needle?
No, I think he's looking for business.
Do you reckon? Up here, it's a bit posh, it's a bit flash up here, isn't it? For business. I swear to God, I've been sat here watching him and he's been up and down like a touch drawers.
I don't know how the male escort business works. Is it the same as the women?
I don't think all his chairs are stuck round the table.
Well, he's had his, like you said, he's had his shoes off.
Is it St. Vitus dance? Is that what they call it? Restless leg syndrome?
I think the guy with the bob happens on the phone is trying to work out where he needs to go next for his...
Well, he's kicked his shoes off at least 3 times whilst we've been sat here drinking hot chocolate.
He's obviously got him a client. He's obviously got him a business. I think he's...
You reckon that's a signal then, the kicking off of the shoes?
Yeah, I think the other guy was sort of saying, well, I'm not sure where your next job is. Anyway, he's obviously said, your next job's 4th floor, apartment 52. The 75-year-old
whatever's going on.
75-year-old divorcee, she wants a bit of pleasure for the evening.
Whatever's going on. He is not shuffling a full deck, let's put it that way.
I'll take you down there, I'll sort the money out, I'll leave you...
How do you know all this anyway? You're very familiar with the lingo, the signs and signals. Is that why you went missing from the Radisson for an hour the other night?
Oh,
come on now, be honest.
I didn't get much for this. It may look good on the outside, but the engine's knackered.
Alright, have a walk over here and other people want to take. So, Andy, what are your thoughts now you've checkpoint Charlie's and you've seen the museum?
I think I've probably actually learned more by going in there than I thought I knew. Yeah, it's very interesting. A lot of stuff that I didn't know that I do know.
Yeah.
And it's... Yeah, I think sometimes you need to come to these places to get the feel of how it was, and I think while going in there and looking at that, you understand more how difficult it was, because when you see it and you read papers and you see things about it, you just go, oh, it was a wall that divided people. You don't realise it was a wall that divided families. Some people woke up one morning and they couldn't see the brothers, the sisters, the families or anything like that. And some of these people, after that day, never ever saw members of the family ever again. They never saw the brother or the sister ever again because they just couldn't get anywhere near them. And I think that's what brings it all home to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at Checkpoint Charlie's, guys. And we're actually sat in East Berlin, aren't we?
Yeah.
This is where it all took place.
Did you realise this is Beetroot?
Hey?
It's Beetroot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever, I'll give it a try.
No, it's not.
God's sake, I can do. Right, so we're sat in East Berlin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just... I remember it being in the papers. I remember when the wall come down, the Berlin Wall come down, and it was in the papers in 1989, the Daily Mail. I remember the paper being on the doormat, and it was just photographs of it all. And to be here now in 2025, and everyone's just chilling out and having coffee and cakes and it's freedom. It's like, once you've been around the museum, it just really brings it home to you how free we are and how lucky we are.
I think you don't... It's like I've said, other places, you just see it and it's stuff on the news, but when you work and you see and you think what it was like, you don't quite... when you hear it brings it all back and think how horrendous it must have been for the people on the east side. Like I said, some people woke up on that day everything was blocked off. There was guards up, borders up, and they were starting building a wall. They were putting things around, and you literally couldn't, if your family could have been on the other side of the street, you were barred from seeing them. You couldn't see them, and there were literally families who never ever saw each other ever again.
Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it?
The amount of people, it says, I can't remember how many it said people died trying to get across, but
Thousands, I think.
that's only people who died who it was known. How many other people died that nothing was mentioned about it, And one thing is, some of these soldiers who shot people trying to get across, years later, they were actually arrested and in prison for it.
Yeah.
Which, it's not very good for people. But one of the upsetting things was that people trying to get across who were shot by the East German guards who weren't dead. The Americans or the European British forces couldn't actually go and help them, because if they'd have gone across to help them and take them across, it would have been an act of aggression. So the American and British soldiers literally had to stand there and watch people dying or bleed to death.
And your dad was
nothing could do about it.
Your dad served over here, didn't he, for some time?
Yeah, my dad was stationed here for a few years. Yeah, he was stationed here, and he said it was just. He said the side you were on, he said, was just like any sort of post-war European city. Getting on with life, people enjoying it, people enjoying having freedom again. He said, and then you looked over this side, and it was like there was nobody about. There were no cars. Any people you did see were like just downtrodden, and there was, you just. He said, and all the time when you were over the other side, you always felt as though you were being watched from this side.
Yeah.
For anything. He said it was just the strangest situation you could ever have. Weird. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go and do a tour of East Berlin this afternoon, and we're going to get some shots of what's left of the Berlin Wall for you, because obviously some parts of it remain as like as a memory of what happened. So we're going to see that this afternoon and give you a little bit more history as we go.
Well, this bit here and further down and all the way down here is still the original wall. As you can see on this side, obviously this was the east side, East Berlin side. There's no graffiti whatsoever. On the other side, I dare say there's probably quite a lot of graffiti on it.
Alright.
Because obviously this side, you didn't go anywhere near it. Because that side, people came up to the wall, did graffiti on it and stuff like that. But it's just...
So let's walk down the wall, and then we'll see if we can get over to the other side and have a look at any wall art that might be on the other side.
I've actually found it quite overwhelming, to be honest.
It is really, considering what it was here for, and there isn't much of it left, but there are still some parts around the city dotted around that we can see.
Yeah.
It is really high, isn't it? I didn't realise how high up it was.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, on top of that, there would have been barbed wire.
Yeah.
You'd have had, literally, from here to the other side of the road would have been like a no-go zone where, once you've gone through that bit, they would shoot at you.
Yeah.
But people gave their life just to get over there.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I mean, you couldn't get over that. You'd need ladders. You won't be able to put ladders up because somebody would just come along and put a gun at you, wouldn't they, really? So.
But yeah, I mean, you've got to remember there would have been armed guards, there would have been sentries and points and stuff like that already here, ready to, made an attempt for freedom.
Yeah.
Just shot you. And if you got caught, I mean, at the end of the day, probably, as harsh as this sounds, if you were making an attempt and your attempt didn't work, you probably would have been better off being shot and killed, rather than what was awaiting for you when you came
Should we go and look at the other side of it?
You came round.
Alright, and as you were saying, there's graffiti on this side.
Yeah.
The west side.
Yeah. So, as we come through here now, we will be free.
Yeah.
Once we step back that way, we would be under Soviet communist regime where we would have no rights whatsoever.
Yeah.
Whereas over here was like the promised land, it was freedom.
Yeah.
You could listen to what you want, you could say what you want, you could speak, you're free. But once you'd gone that other side over there, then that was it. All your freedoms were taken away, and it's in a way, a lot of people probably said it should be just knocked down completely, but I think bits like this, it should be here for people to remember, for people to see, and people to, make sure by looking at it and keeping this here that it never happens again.
Yeah. Let's have a walk down it and show some of the logos and things that are on it. Somebody's put a little alien there, look, at the bottom. It's, like you say, it's just being here is like the most... it's overwhelming, isn't it, to see it?
It is overwhelming.
You don't really know what to say, do you, to be honest? And inside the wall, there was all them iron bars that are there to keep the concrete in place, and that bit at the top was to stop people climbing over. So yeah, it's pretty unique, really, to see this. It looks like there's some slabs of it over there on display. We'll go over there in a minute. We probably were over here then pieces. Alright, so the Berlin Wall, guys. So we have some individual panels of the wall on display here with the graffiti art on. Some of the art is recent. Some of the faded art will go back to when the wall was still in place. As Andy said earlier, the west side would have had the graffiti on and the east side would have had none. I know we did see a piece of this wall in Washington DC Ronald Reagan Museum with a yellow smiley face and a hand waving, and it said hello on it. I think that was gifted to Ronald Reagan because he was the president at the time when this wall finally came down in 1989. And since he had something to do with negotiations, they gifted him a panel. There's a distance, you could see the whole of the wall back there. Victims.
People who died.
There was 1,000 weren't there about, roughly? Or they know of?
At least 136 people died, but there were so many who...
Others took their own lives.
Who were jailed. The victims at the wall, 42 children and 8 teenagers.
Oh my God.
8 border soldiers died while on duty. And that's only from 1961, but people had already died in Berlin at the border before 1961, so we don't know how many of them, and we don't know how, I mean that's only the recorded ones, we don't know how many ones weren't, people hadn't recorded, so we don't know. Could have been a lot, probably was a lot more, because as you know the way how the communist system works, you get very little out of them, very little comes out. It's the same nowadays with Russia and Putin. Very little comes out.
Yeah.
Very little comes out, and what you are is drip fed out, and a lot of it probably you don't believe anyway. Yeah.
Okay, Andy, so this is a bit more of the Berlin Wall.
Quite a long piece, this.
Yeah.
That was the outer wall. There would have been like fences and everything here. Where people
Yeah,
could get through.
and there would have been the inner wall.
And then an inner wall. So in this, there would have been a fence that if somebody got over that bit, this would trigger an alarm.
Yeah.
So obviously every about I think it said every 60 metres,
Yeah.
there was like a watchtower.
Right, yeah.
So in other words, there was no way anybody was getting in. I mean, once you got over that wall, if you hadn't been seen going over that wall,
Yeah.
you were lucky.
Yeah.
You got to here, and you got through here, and you hadn't triggered the fence.
Yeah.
You were and nobody'd seen you. You were extremely lucky. Then again, you've got to get over that
That
as
wall,
well.
yeah.
And then once you're over that, all right, I suppose if you're going for freedom, no matter what, once you've got over that, your luck's in, you're thinking it's only over there.
And then you've got the river
and I think,
as well behind it.
and when you think about it, in times of your adrenaline had kicked in, I would imagine even people who weren't the strongest swimmers or whatever would have made. You would just make it over there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd swim across just for freedom.
You just would, because your adrenaline had kicked in. If you've done that, you've got that.
And the river.
You're just going to go for it. And
It's like a triathlon, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But for freedom, not for raising money, just to get free.
But saying that, even when you're swimming over, you've still got the guards
Yeah.
watching you as well. So, yeah, it's chances are.
Yeah, it leaves you speechless, doesn't it, really? I'm not quite sure how I'd feel if, like, I got up one morning and there was building a wall like this behind me here. It was all going up to fence you in so you couldn't come out, and then you were going to be taken over by a regime that put you on the minimum pay, and you couldn't get food, and you couldn't get the clothing, and you couldn't get the goods that the rest of the world were being able to buy. And it's like, it's only when you're actually here and you see these walls that you start to take it all in and think, what would it have been like if we'd have been tangled up in all of this?
You wouldn't have had any sort of freedom of speech. How people say right now, oh, we've no freedom of speech, we know this, we know that was stopped and everything. You have got freedom of speech. These people have no freedom of speech. They weren't allowed to listen to what music they wanted to. They would have no idea of any kind of music that was going on for any of the 60s music and stuff like that. They would have had, well, they would have known, but they wouldn't have had access. They would have had no access to it because it would have been classed as I can't think of it, rebellious, and that would have been put down. You wouldn't have been able to. You think of all the classic books that you read.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to read them. You would have had to read about the, revolutionaries, the communists, and and preaching hatred towards Western Europe and how we were all, this is you have a good life here, and we were all, badly treated. So, you wouldn't have had any thoughts. You wouldn't have been able to think for yourself.
So there's still quite a bit of the wall up here. This part is actually the west side, and what they've done is they've put mural art on the east side to celebrate the end of this particular period of history. Oh look, somebody's put the lyrics to David Bowie. We can be heroes just for one day. Was that the record where he sings Standing by the Wall? And he meant the Berlin Wall, didn't he? And for anybody who's interested in David Bowie's music, Johnny Depp with Hollywood Vampires has done an amazing version of Heroes by David Bowie. But to hear that track, you'd have to go to the Hollywood Vampires album, the album called Rise, to hear it. It's an amazing piece. It's an amazing track. But yeah, there are some lyrics in that record, Heroes by David Bowie, where he sings, standing by the wall, and they kissed. That's about the Berlin Wall, and I think when David Bowie was writing that record, he was here, wasn't he? And he'd seen a couple against the wall, and then he realised later on it was his record producer and his girlfriend or something. Yeah, it's a popular story for those people who are interested in, you know, music, and particularly David Bowie, 70s and kind of thing. But yeah, it's a beautiful city, it really is. It's an amazing city. But then it's got this like really sad kind of history attached to it.
When you think the city, for this city personally, history-wise, the people have gone through, especially, you know, the people who were caught up after the war. They had all what was going on from the 30s up to 1945 after the war, and then suddenly, if you're living in the east of Berlin, you've got the communist regime afterwards. So from 1930 up till 1990, you basically weren't free. You had no freedom of thought. You had no freedom of what you read, what you looked at, what you thought, anything. You know, you're basically downtrodden. You know, and after the war, the West Berliners sort of had probably a bit of better lifestyle. You know, they were obviously rebuilding the city, but to suddenly come out of that and think, great, we've got freedom, and then suddenly, no, we haven't. We've gone into something just the same. You know, and people forget, under the communist regime here, people disappeared.
Yeah.
People just disappeared. There were camps, you know, you were taken away and locked away in prison for years just because you disagreed with what your government thought. You know, you were doing 20, 30 years hard labour in these camps, working, you know, and just because you didn't agree with what your government said. Now, can you imagine that today?
Oh, God. We'd be doing 50 years in the gulag, some of the stuff we've come out with about our government.
Imagine, you know, you disagree with, say, what's gone on in the budget, right?
Yeah.
And you ousted your opinions about it, right? The next day, you come home from work, I've been carted off because I disagree with I've openly disagreed in public of what I thought about the budget, and you suddenly get told, oh, Andy's been put in prison, he'll be there for 10, maybe 15 years because of his disagreement with the government. And that's
it's unreal,
what
isn't
you're
it?
talking about.
Totally different world.
Do you know what I mean? And it's still happening. Certain communist countries, you know, it's still happening today.
Yeah.
It's still happening today, you know, and it's unbelievable. We're the only race of people who do this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we have no respect for each other. No respect for each other whatsoever, and it's disgraceful in this day and age. You know, we should all be getting on with each other and, you know, putting aside personal differences, but I don't know, the human race seems to have this thing that we have to stoke up hatred between people, and there has to be people at the top who want the ultimate power of being able to, you know, tell people what to think, what to look like, how to feel, you know, what to read, what to listen to. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, madness.
And so the wall art just goes on and on and on all the way along. All the way up to there. So it's been a real eye-opener, hasn't it, Andy?
Definitely.
It's pretty cold now because it's December and we're by the river, so we're having a hot chocolate.
I think because it's a clear sky and it's...
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was cloudy.
Yeah.
It's clear sky, so it's quite frosty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this wall art is really impressive, and this is the east side gallery for those people that are interested in art. This is the bit that they're keeping up, and these artists have done different things to display, you know, the personal thoughts and feelings about the Berlin Wall coming down, you know, and the hope that people have got for the future of Berlin in particular. Okay guys, so that's us from Berlin, and once again, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and hopefully you'll like our videos.
Oh yes.
And encourage other people to subscribe.
Yeah.
You know that whenever we go anywhere, we always take you with us and show you a little bit of the place and try and give you some history.
Oh.
So take care everybody, and we'll see you all very soon back home.
Bye.